Thank you and welcome back. Good afternoon, everybody. For the last session of today, we'll talk about the lesson learned from the best practices of Business CIO. So for this topic, I think we have about 1.5 hours for this session. So we try to finish on time because I think the traffic here is so bad. Okay, I will start with Dr.Arnon. He will share the lesson learned from the TOT because he is the ex-TOT. So please, Dr.Arnon.
Thank you very much, Kun Kumpol. First of all, I would like to say good afternoon to everybody. Now, I would like to show my experience since my management at TOT. Now, I'm ex-president of TOT and then become also an advisor to Ministry of Minister of ICT. And then from my profile here, you can see that and also I'm a program chair of Telecom Management and Broadcasting Management at KMUTT, King Mongkut University. And also I was ex-chair of APEC-TEL working group as well. Since I was APEC chair, TEL chair since 2007 and until 2009, 2 years term. And then as an achievement during my management, we got the TQC award. You can see the quality award from Thailand Quality Award. But the first step to become TQA is the TQC, Thailand Quality Class. And then obtain the best state enterprise in innovation from Ministry of Finance. Now, agenda for today, there are 2 topics. The first one, since I will share my experience at that time. So the first, I would like to summarize on who is TOT. And then the second one is the experience shared from that time. TOT, Telephone Organization of Thailand, the former name, founded in 1954, 59 years ago. And then TOT is still state-owned enterprise, and it is a corporatized to be public company limited in 2002, long time ago, more than 10 years. And then TOT is a telecom and ICT solution provider as a convergence service provider, fixed line and mobile and 3G and broadband FTTX, and also the first #1 on fixed line voice in Thailand, and then the leading operator of broadband fixed in every technology, for example, ADSL, fiber to the home, for example. And then now TOT also 3G network provider and retailer. Network provider, since there are also several MVNO working together with TOT. TOT is a network provider and then provide the wholesale to MVNO, mobile virtual network operator, such as Samad, Loxley, something like that. And also TOT give a retail to public as well, 3G network. The maximum speed of 3G network of TOT about 42 megabit per second. And also TOT provide government information network and government contact center 1111, the number of the contact center. Also provide cloud computing and IDC, Internet Data Center, IPTV, and lastly, TOT provide and main provider of ICT free Wi-Fi around Thailand. That summarizes of the first topic on who is TOT, and then now to share experience with you. I would like to share as a TOT, as a digital company. Why digital? You can see items below. The first one, we follow, TOT follow Smart Thailand Framework or ICT Master Plan 2020. And then TOT follow the IT management standards or management practice, COVID, ITIL, CMMI, ISO, IEC 27000, for example. And then not only IT management standard, but also business itself. For example, TOT follow strategy focused organization in implementing balanced scorecard and strategy map. And also with to be the service focused organization or enterprise, TOT adopt ETOM. You can see, you can know very well if you are in the telecom operator. ETOM stands for Enhanced Telecommunication Operation Maps that provide the process and then the architecture of service operator. And then TOT follow quality focused enterprise. As I show you already that TOT become TQC class award from Thailand Quality Award Committee. And not only that, we have to consider also the trend of ICT trend recently. You can see that mobile trend, mobile broadband trend, and then social media, Internet of Things, M2M, machine to machine, big data, and bring your own device. It's very hot topic from some years ago until now. And then as a knowledge company, I will show you something. Smart Thailand, you can know very well within the ITU telecom world this year that Thailand adopt Smart Thailand 2020 as an ICT framework for 2020 with 3 pillars. The first one is the first pillar on stronger economy with smart agriculture, smart services. The second pillar on social, try to bridge digital divide. We take care of smart health, smart learning or smart education. And then third pillar on environmental friendly, smart environment. And with the platform support, the 3 pillars is the e-government or smart government, that the task of EGA today. And then we take care of also the plan, the long-term plan, also consider or take into consideration of human resource, because it's very important. Even we have a good plan, but not quality or not competent human to run that plan, this cannot be success. And then the second one is ICT infrastructure. The third on ICT industry is still, that's Smart Thailand that TOT have to consider, to bring into consideration in make the strategy. You can see this slide summarize all tools that TOT implement or bring together as a digital company. The first one on vision and then strategy and KPI on the left side. And then with the strategy KPI, we bring 3-4 process of a balanced scorecard or strategy map on financial, customer, internal process, and then the bottom is learning and growth. And also, as I show you, we take care of and we adopt IT management practice like PDCA, COVID, TOGAF, security, ISO, IEC security, and then CMMI, ITIL, ITIL, for example. And then at the lowest, we take care of, we talk about quality of TOT on 4 perspectives. The first one on strategy management, the second one on performance management, and the third one on process management, and then risk management. On the IT management practice that we TOT adopt that on the TOGAF or the Open Group Architecture Framework, TOT tried to implement the template, the portfolio template to build that architecture framework. Little by little we implement, because if we implement for the whole organization, it will be very complicated. Then we implement the first implement by 7 templates. Then step by step we implement more and more templates. The second on IT governance, on we bring into consideration and adopt the COVID control objectives for information and related technology to take care of risk management and IT governance. The third one on CMMI tried to, we just begin this process. Well, we are in the existing of the second level, CMMI level 2, and we would like to bring all development of software in or within the second level first before we going upward to third, fourth, and fifth. Another interesting point is that the practice of the IT library, infrastructure library, try to map service management and application with the infrastructure that we have. Now, go to the business. We just passed from IT management practice, IT, security, something like that. Now we go to business also together, bring a strategy focused organization. I told you that there are 4 perspectives from the bottom, from learning and growth to internal process to customer and then financial, that business organization need the financial, the bottom line. The bottom line should high growth, for example, 10%, 20%, for example. Then in telecom operator, normally we adopt telecom is a service, as a service provider, because telecom is service industry. Then we adopt the e-tom to bring, we make, TOT make, build the structure, organization structure under this e-tom framework. e-tom provide us the organization charge and then also process to connect among function, different function. For example, the first function on strategy, infrastructure, and product. The second on operations. The third one on enterprise management, like HR, finance, audit, something like that. Take care of quality, TQA, based on the Mancom Wondrick, TQM management. But in Thailand, we call TQA, Thailand Quality Award. There is a committee take care of it. And then TOT implement, deploy TQA through 4 different quality. The first one we call the quality of strategy management, both development of strategy and then deployment of strategy. The second one on quality of performance management. The third one the third quality on process management. And then the last one on risk management. Now we take a short look at the ICT trend of today. You can see from the ITU recently told us that the population of mobile is now 6.8 billion. But the population of population is 7.1, almost the same value, the same amount already. This means everyone in the world have one mobile at least, from the statistic. And then social media is a big power today, especially you see from Facebook. This stories show that Facebook in 2013, Facebook have already 1.15 billion account. is the third biggest, the third largest population in the world, behind just China, India. Then the third economy, the third country, third economy, as we can consider Facebook as another country with the cross-cultural, cross-behavior. You see, the world changed already. Now we are in the cross-cultural, cross-political, something like that. And we, ITU, this statistic forecast that the Facebook will become the first largest country within 2016 if the growth of account now is 10%. But if the growth of Facebook account is 6%, it will become in the first largest country in 2018. Not so far away from now. But you see the power of social media already from now. Facebook statistic now, last August, this year, 1.15 billion account. And you know, Thailand, especially Bangkok can be considered is the capital of Facebook, since it's considered as the biggest city where there are a lot, number of accounts. It's the biggest city of Facebook of the world. Another thing is that Internet of Things. You can see now in 2000 and now almost one account, one thing, one person. In the future, they consider Cisco, the sources from Cisco say that in some years, in 2020, the population of the world population is 7.6 billion. But the thing, 50 billion thing, then more than one people have more than one thing. Or 7 things. One people, 7 things. Watch, glass, wallet.
I think some people have more than 7 right now.
Okay. You're right. Even now, my 3 phones.
Okay.
And then for knowledge company, you say that you can see this triangle often, that from the bottom is the data, the middle is the information, and then the topmost is intelligence. We have to build T.Ltd as a digital company to support the knowledge company. This final presentation page summarized, give you example of our software, the application within using in T.Ltd, for example, ERP, CRM, e-document, which T.Ltd try to move forward than just document, e-document to e-form, and then signature to every employee within few years, next 2 years, I think. And then e-performance evaluation, network operation maintenance to integrate all kinds of brand, all kinds of vendor in broadband. For example, Cisco, Force, Ericsson, Huawei, ZTE, together we monitor by one single center. And then knowledge-based society, KBS, e-payslip, all employees will receive e-payslip every month. And then e-leave, the employee would like to take leave, you can request anywhere, from anywhere around the world to your boss, and your boss just click, okay, it's okay for you to take leave, you will leave, something like that. And e-voice to president, this means that all employee can make voice to president. For example, I have to see every day, every time, with my staff, of course, with my personal staff together to take care of e-voice from employee, from union. And then e-directory, not hard copy, but employee can search within the whole organization. The population of employee in TOT about more than 20,000. Then we need that directory. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. I will just share my experience during my management in TOT Corporation. Now in just simple TOT. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Arnon mentioned about many best practices that are already adopted within the TOT. May I ask one question? Because you touch upon the social media, for example, the Facebook, Twitter, or it's just like the big city in the world right now for Bangkok. How about the TOT adopt the social media policy within the TOT, or recommend some social media policy for the customer, something like that? Do you have some social media policy? Can you give us example?
Thank you. In fact, TOT right now not have the formal social media policy yet, but TOT itself, we provide the social, we subscribe to social media and then recommend the group of employees to work closely within them, to share experience, to share case of the working within their group together. There are so many groups within TOT, and I think that now TOT employees almost all have Facebook or Twitter, or especially Facebook account. I also have one, and then I connect to everybody. And then to share knowledge, to share experience, to share activities among us, among employees. And then also social media, when TOT have to provide infrastructure to social media. We provide IDC that already have ISO IEC 2007-001 that to guarantee the security to customer can bring their platform to TOT IDC as well. Okay.
Thank you. It's good to hear that TOT implement many best practices regarding the IT governance, which is COVID, ITIL, which is the IT services, and also the ISMS, ISO 27001, CMMI, which is the capability maturity model, something like that. So, and also for the balance scorecard in the management level for the KPI. So you touch upon the best practice, the measurement, and something about the implementation. All of the best practice that already adopted within the TOT, how long or the time frame that you implement for all best practice?
TOT have a strategy or master plan to the milestone every 4 or 5 years, and each year we rolling the plan. We have to have the off-site conference within management, board of directors, and then a key person to do rolling plan for 4 or 5 years plan. And then IT master plan, we have the strategy plan. Then in each sector, TOT have specific plan. For example, IT master plan, and then HR master plan. But however, we follow our best practice here.
And also make sure that we align with the ICT master plan, okay, which is the ICT master plan to 2020. Okay, thank you. May I move to Mr. Kawashima to share us about the lesson learned, which is the entity is also the telecom
Yes.
industry.
Yes.
We are the same, all of us, from the telecom industry. So please.
Yeah. Thank you, the Kumpol. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much, dear ladies and gentlemen. I'm so much happy to be here. For me, the very honorable opportunity to make the presentation in front of all of you. Especially, I'm so much feel the honor to the Dr.Arnon. Yeah. It's a very, very exciting occasion for me there. So let me start to share my experience to work in the NTT. And my name is Tsuyoshi Kawashima, is the president of the NTT Communication Thailand. Before to come to the Thailand, I'm also in charge of the enterprise division to take care of the financial sector. And also from the 2000 to 2006, I'm the one with the board member of the Pte.Ltd. Is similar to institution of the TOT in Philippines. And also to the NTT itself is a quite similar organization to the TOT in Japan. So please to understand that the NTT organization is the incumbent telecom operator. However, this one is the NTT group, the structure. NTT East and West, and also the NTT Communication. I belong to the NTT Communication as an ICT solution provider and also to the international telecommunication, together with a long-distance network for the NTT East and West. Today, before this presentation, I have the chat with the Dr.Wang from Singapore. He has a very good relation with the KDDI, and also actually in case of the NTT Japan, it's divided into the regional telecom operation and the long distance and also the global business. And also to the NTT data and the mobile phone, the Docomo is a mobile vehicle or the Docomo NTT group, and also the dimension data. I don't have any intention today to touch the organization issue. It's because today I need to share my our CIO experience with you. This is the subject to maybe to I should hand over to the academic session there. So, however, this organization is also to give us some hurdle or constraint how to provide the good services. So therefore, I covered these topics. And then this one is the NTT group history. I'd like to keep you patient to know who is the NTT. Just I say similar to the TOT in Japan. However, yes, this one is the NTT to the spin out from the government sector. It came back to the 1952. After that, it takes a long time. It's similar to I suppose the TOT's case 2002 is to corporatize this one there. In the NTT's case is the 1987 to privatize and then to simultaneously listing up in the Tokyo Stock Exchange. And also to the NTT data, another the data is a software development company, also to the listing in the Tokyo Stock Exchange is 1995. And also the NTT Docomo is the mobile vehicle, is the mobile phone operator, is to spin out from the NTT. So which means the data transmission business and to the voice business and the mobile business split into the several of the institutions and both these companies to listing company. So how to have the independent to the dominance to the governance. This one is one of the NTT group. How we should to have the standardized the policy or the direction is one of the critical point which we should to overcome. And also to the 1999. Additionally, NTT was divided into the regional telecom operator East and West, and also to the NTT Communication. And also under the NTT group, we also have the NTT Urban Development. It's an asset holding company. Is listed also the TSE. Dimension Data is acquired by to the NTT Holding, the 2011. This is the slide that shows to the NTT and the NTT group. The NTT Communication also has acquired several companies in the and I'm from the NTT Communication Thailand to belong to the NTT Communication. And also to the NTT is to announce to our global cloud vision, say 2011, how we bring to the value. Is the build of the flexible, low-cost ICT environment, which means we should to provide the high-quality services with a reasonable price. Is one of the to target. And another one is optimize the ICT environment as a global scale, which means not only to in the domestically in Japan, also to globally, say to from the America or the Europe, and also to especially the Asian country. Of course, the Thailand is the most important country for us. And also to the security. Safe and the secure ICT environment is also these are the three key proportions. It has to be we have to set the boundary to provide our to setting to our keep our philosophy, and then to provide the high quality services. It's our philosophy. Hi. I want to summarize in this slide. So how we are to going to this direction to deploy the cloud services and then this as a telecom carrier. Many operators to provide the cloud services, and then however our NTT's differentiation is we have the network. It's one of the our strong point, and then also to the reinforce of the services is say to the globally, and also to the provide the virtual of the network, the technology is also to the challenge. This one is we already considered to say 2011, and then to going to the next step is to security over global cloud also and on. Today, I'd like to based on the company's experience, is my personal experience. I want to share with you how to meet the customers' expectation. I chose some example. Tokyo Stock Exchange. Tokyo Stock Exchange also has some face to the problem, and not problem. Sorry, some to issue to solve. Why? I think most of you too, they have the chance to invest, not only the time budget, also to invest in the stock exchange of the Thailand, also this one. Now the competition is to come to the exchange, which means the New York Stock Exchange or the Malaysia Exchange and the Singapore Exchange is compete each other. Domestically, Tokyo Stock Exchange is to the dominant the stock exchange in Japan. However, like also to face the competition in to Singapore or New York, and also we have some historical to experience. Previously, we have a lot of the exchange in Japan, say to the Sapporo or Fukuoka or Hiroshima and Kyoto and Kobe. Also to we have. However, during some competition happened, consolidated into to Japan and Tokyo Stock Exchange. Eventually, 2013, this year, January, to the Tokyo Stock Exchange to merge with the Osaka Security Exchange, which means to become a one exchange, Japan Exchange, JPX, is now the organization. Before that, 2010, is to face to some problem and some of the issue is why is because of the Japanese economy is stagnant, and then to the transaction volume of the to stock exchange is decreasing. So in order to be much more charming, to make it more efficient the stock exchange, how? It means the more to orient the IT sector, and also the market player like a Nomura or the Daiwa Security. Of course, I should say to the like Deutsche Bank or the Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley or the such a big player. Of course, to have the high to speed to program, say algorithm, say to the DMA trading, is a direct market access. This to the software and also the equipment, it have to be supported by the IT. This one is the new challenge field for the exchange. And also the customer, like a pension fund, to arrange to keep it more to good performance, which means the execution obligation, best performance of the execution, which means the when to the pension fund to request to the security firm to sell and buy, don't do affect the so much to transaction price, which means the sell and buy have to be to more frequent transaction, so-called frequent transaction to keep it the performance, not too much to affect on the total impact on the pricing there. So it's cheaper or to the higher price, it doesn't matter. To keep it stable, it's a main target of the security firm. In order to keep it such application, of course, have to be to the support by the IT. And this is the transaction also quite naturally is faced to some of the competition situation. This one is the Tokyo Stock Exchange situation. Number one is to the Japanese economy. Have to be much more charming. Nevertheless, to the weekend. And also the pension fund also to require much more the efficient transaction. And then to the, of course, to the everybody to try to make it some of the transaction. And then NTT is jointly to co-work with the Tokyo Stock Exchange. We have arranging the, of course, the Tokyo Exchange also to the innovate their matching engine, which means the share stock to experience, and also they have the backup the data center. These two, the backup side and also the matching engine, the primary, have to be to secure to solid the network by NTT network. Is to the Tenzi, it is supported by DWDM, the technology, and also to the KP to the market participant. We have the provide the access point in the inside the Japan. And also to the NTT's involvement of the Tokyo Stock Exchange, also to the allow to the market player to access the Tokyo Stock Exchange the network. Like a Goldman or the Morgan Stanley is not directly to proposing to the NTT. Is there to through the Tokyo Stock Exchange the systems to provide such a network. This network, the operation belongs to the NTT. This one is the TSE, the ARRowNet, the overall the diagram. This one is the summary of the slide. Is the TSE ARRowNet, the 10G link, the backbone is supported by NTT, and the access point is the two access point also to the collocated by the NTT the data center. And then also the TSE, the ARRowNet, the access line, also of course is provided the not only the NTT. This one is to share with the say to the SoftBank and the KPG and also the KDDI. However, to all the network to connect to the NTT the collocation office. Eventually, another one is the we so-called the proximity the transaction, which means the matching engine to closely to connect to the NTT data center, and then the to the market player to consistent. Actually, the latency to the transaction is there is you can to the divide into the three items. Number one, of course, it belongs to the Tokyo Stock Exchange, the matching engine, the processing the capability. This one belongs to the exchange. Another one is the to network the latency. Have to be to shorten the this one belongs to the NTT work, telecommunications sector's work, and then also to the there is some equipment. Also to the once we have the another unnecessary network to increase, of course there is some to to make it to slow the transaction. So make it the simple design together with the high quality of the network, together with the matching engine, the software. This one must be done to by all the involved the person, which means the telecommunication side and also to the market participants, say Goldman Sachs or the Deutsche Bank or the Nomura, together with the Tokyo Stock Exchange initiative. And this one is the domestic effort. And then we are now expand to this experience to the global inter-exchange low latency, which means I think some of you knows is one of the oldest future transaction is say to the 17th century or 18th century Osaka is the trading of the rice is to the future transaction, and then to the even now Osaka Stock Exchange has a derivative, is the center of the derivative office in to Japan, and then the Tokyo the Stock Exchange the index Nikkei 225 is to listed in the Osaka, not the Tokyo Stock Exchange. This the derivative to the transaction is also to the SGX. SGX stands for the Singapore Stock Exchange, which means the same products, same the derivative, same the future transaction to the simultaneously listing in the Osaka and Singapore. This is have to be to the arbitrage the transaction secured by the low latency the network. So therefore, we are together with the Tokyo Stock Exchange, now named the change, Japan Exchange, is to connect to the Singapore Exchange, and also to the we expand to the Chicago Mercantile. CME is the stand for the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and also the Taiwan, and then to the London Stock Exchange. This is the most to required from now on and now on. And then unfortunately, we haven't to reach the Thai Stock Exchange. However, the Thai Stock Exchange is very, very unique. You know, they are not only to the listing company, also to listing the bond. Listing the, to the government the bond, and also the like rice crop, and also to the gold. So in case of the Japan, do such to item we have the to various exchange. Say to the derivative belong to the Osaka. Say to the common product belong to the another exchange. But the Thai, the stock exchange of the Thailand is to comprehensive. They are very, very nice. This one. So in near future, we also to want to connect to each other. It's our dream. Because why from the point of the NTT, the Thai is one of the most important countries there. This one, what I want to say, during this activity. Our lesson is quite simple. Even though the NTT group company to split into the several company, however, we should have the similar to the standardized product and the same direction together with the customer. It's our lesson. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Before I move to Dr. Wang, may I ask you one question? Because you mentioned that the stock exchange of Thailand is very unique, and you also the entity corporation Thailand. So I do believe that you adopt many best practice within the Japan, and also you help a lot with the big organization, even the Tokyo Stock Exchange, many financial institutions. I ask all the short question, the best practice that you already adopt in Japan, it can be used in Thailand, or you need to change or add something.
Yes, it's my kind of the implication to the during my presentation. You know, one of the most advantage in this country is you have the very nice people here together with you have the rice here, and then rise to the transaction indication that already the Thai has to export and the import, you have this one. So through such a rise, the transaction and also you have say to the very nice company. And compare with among the Asian region, you have the manufacturing industry, and also the ROE is very nice compared with the others. And then I came here in 2010, and then in last 3 years is very constantly to improve. And then to the bottom line, previous presentation from the Dr.Arnon also to mention as a CIO, as CEO, you need to focus in the bottom line, top line, and together with the bottom line. And then I think the CEO is to share such a sentiment with the Dr.Arnon. Also to keep it very, very nice transition, which means has more to to opportunity to exchange. And then to the in near future, definitely has not only the stock exchange, also the rice crop on also the field. Yes, it's a very, very, I believe the Thailand has a very big potential.
Thank you. Since I work for the Securities and Exchange Commission, so I think we will have some collaboration in the near future. Okay, as time moves so fast, so I move to Dr. Wang to present and share what your lesson learned regarding the best practice regarding the Business CIO. Okay, you use your machine or okay.
Hello. Good afternoon, Dika. I'm very excited and very happy, very honored to be here to address, to give a talk about we Softfoundry, what's our experience in the best approach for e-government, smart cities, smart nations, and then what kind of experiences, what we learn from that. Okay, so to get to the conclusion first, we did a lot of work. We very brave. We are a small company in Singapore, but if you ask me what do we have we learned, I have to say ISDN. That means I still don't know. So it is a very big field, as I see in this afternoon, other sessions, many different approach for e-government, smart city, smart nation. We are a small company, but we are very brave enough. I remember 4 years ago, we bidding in the USA government communication upgrade, $88 billion project, and we got kicked out from the first round, even we partnered with Verizon. Because of BlackBerry, they refused to open up the communication with our company's software for the communication, mostly video conference, telepresence. So, and then we also got officially the project for Saudi or nationwide education, which is a very big project, almost $5 billion. But then last minute, Microsoft did something. So they switched the project to Microsoft, and then they, so far I read the website, there's only 25,000 people using it. So it's not 500,000 they're already talking about. We also brave enough to bid for Singapore e-government SOE project. That's about a $2 billion project, and we were number 2. Then we lost it. So the lesson I learned from that one is relationship is very important. HP, EDS, has better relationship with the government, so they got it. And then we also bid for the School of the Future, Singapore. We also lost, number 2. We're number 2. And everybody say we have better technology. We got beaten by Microsoft. The same guy beat us in Saudi Arabia. So, and then Malaysia and all these so many other countries. So recently, I also heard some people talking about some potential customer. Oh, they prefer big name because if something wrong with a big name, they don't get blamed. We are a small company. Nobody wants to try. But however, things are changing very fast. You know, BlackBerry is not even there. Recently we had a 6 months talk with Vodafone, for example. By the way, top 5 of the top 10 telco are talking to us right now for the future of what's the mobile phone and what's all that applications. At the beginning, Vodafone say, well, you have to consider iPhone and BlackBerry. Everybody have this too. 6 months ago. And then 5 months ago, they say, oh, no. BlackBerry, forget it. You add Windows. So we developed BlackBerry, Windows, and everything. And then finally, recently, they told me, you can forget about everything, just Android. So we have to improve all the performance for Android. So things are moving so fast. Android is 80%, 81% of the market share. Plus, the CPU is changing so fast. A few years ago, nobody heard of MediaTek. Now it's the Taiwan company, the chip maker for smartphone. Now they're 50% of all the smartphone right now in the world. And 300 companies in China using the chip to make smartphone. So these are the things are changing so fast, and how do we cope with it? So I'll show you some experiences as we build up to it, and then let you get some feeling of what's all that about. So we are a small company in Singapore, and I founder, and this is 1999, so 14 years. We branch office in Shanghai, Ningbo, Taipei, Ho Chi Minh, Jakarta, and Bandung. Okay, initially we have this special codec for video. It's 4 times smaller than Impact 2. So at the beginning we are pretty easy, as Mr. Kawashima saying. We one time in KDDI push our product called ICTEL, and failed. Also, SoftBank want to buy our company, and we didn't agree, so we didn't do. But after that, I visited many times in NTT and Docomo, but they still don't understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so we have the small bandwidth, and we have all the collaboration. Just now, another session, they say, well, future is a government collaboration and people collaboration. Everything is talking about collaboration. But you have to be in orderly magnitude, and the decision making and everything has to be correct. Otherwise, it's a random motion, everybody talking, everybody making contacts and everything. That's not very good. So we have all this collaboration tool. And then for the smart city, it is improve education and improve health for the old people, and people sharing information, knowledge, improve public service, and process automation and Internet of Things. So I'll talk more about the smart city, what we've done. We were involved in the 2 smart city in China, the only 2. Now the number 3, they also invite us to participate in that project. So it's a Ningbo and Chengdu. Okay, so what we do is it's a unified communication in the platform e-government and smart city model. Recently, we moved 1 step more. At this time, we think the smartphone right now is not smart enough. So we try to have many things to do in the smartphone, and smartphone to learn from you, know your habit, know what you want to do, and to make smartphone much more smarter. So we are in that big project now. So it has the e-government, intranet, extranet, and global internet and everything. So we have to make sure the collaboration across through all of them. The government, the private industry, the citizens, and everything. And, okay. And then the value proposition. So we have to save time cost, improve social interaction, facilitate people, communicate, share, and improve the public, empower the small, medium business. So all of that, we have to build on a good infrastructure. Recently, we found Japan, Korea, and Taiwan. The infrastructure is very good. They almost have all the fiber to all the home. Thailand and Indonesia are a little bit behind at this time. You have to invest more on fiber to every home and to every village, every countryside. Otherwise, it's not a broadband, it's a broken band. Okay, so we are working quite a bit in Indonesia. This is the first cyber city province in Indonesia, West Java. And we are into quite a few villages and cities and here and there. Okay, so value is to build a nationwide. Okay, and it does include all the devices, hardware, software, Internet of Things, and PC. This picture is very important. What we're saying is the smart city should have city Wi-Fi as a one on the top. Because we think the 3G, 4G eventually is not good enough. And the new city Wi-Fi right now, it has 4x4 MIMO. So it's the same as an LTE station, but at a cheaper than 100 times. We designed the complete system to handle city Wi-Fi, which I will explain to you later. And then there's e-learning for young, and then surveillance, IoT, telepresence, mobile office, office for mobile, car communication, e-healthcare, and cloud security. And right in the bottom center, we work on quite a bit on supercomputing-based cloud. Why we have to do this type of cloud? Because 80% of the internet is video, and the current cloud server, it's not effective in handling video. So we improve quite a bit using supercomputing architecture, and then each server, small server, handle 20,000 videos, mixings, and transcodings, and everything about video. Okay, the city Wi-Fi, what we design is all beamforming, large system server to control 1 million AP, and it's offload 3G, 4G automatically, plus it also share load. So that's something new. We think 3G, 4G not enough, and city Wi-Fi sometimes on and off, not totally cover all area. So, but you can share a load. You can increase the bandwidth, especially upload bandwidth. So that's what we're doing in the smart city infrastructure in the city Wi-Fi. Then we have e-healthcare, e-learning, and surveillance. And this one on the lower right-hand side is designed for Prime Minister of Vietnam. By the way, Singapore government finally used our system for already 4 years for all the prime ministers and 5,000 government employee video conferencing every day. And we also have Indonesia president and a couple other countries using government using our video conference. So this is a typical example of image processing. We're working with a top USA company and licensed to all the other medical device company for image processing with a conference together. Okay, and this is the Indonesia application of e-learning. We cover quite a bit of e-learning, and at this time try to introduce to 800 universities. The top 3 are already using. So this is an example of e-learning, the teacher teaching about 100 students. But theoretically, we can do synchronous learning up to 1 million people in one class. And this is me sitting in the office, look at the surveillance, smart surveillance. That means it has behavior analysis, IES, and conference with other side. And this one example is China Mobile, pushing the 4G, the new Pte.Ltd, and using our system for demo, because we can do foresight, full HD video conferencing using one Pte.Ltd radio dongle. So that shows the example of small bandwidth, very powerful. And this one is our special office for mobile. That means mobile phone video conference, you have to take care of all the Microsoft Office, and you can editing and multi-collaboration. So this is the collaboration to the top level. Okay, and then this one is the paperless e-government. Our e-government starting from get rid of paper, and in Taiwan successful in using PC, and now we have everything put it into the mobile office. The key is there's a super MCU to shuffle the paper for you to and then signature verifications and all the paper capturing and paperwork flow. So it's a MCU to make the paper flow, go through a decision process in the government. Okay, so right now the interesting issue is how do you protect the government servers to be anti-hacking? So there's some terms in here, I don't know, but I wish Singapore government use it, otherwise they wouldn't get hacked. And also, everybody is very concerned about video conferencing, the mobile data, everything going through. So we have to add all this unified encryptions. At this time, I was told this is the same thing that Snowden understands. So he has been pretty safe in going through the encryption. Here's our partner. Sorry, it has Chinese in there. China Mobile, China Telecom, Vodafone, top 3, and then some Telecom Indonesia is number 10, and then Telkomsel just approved. Yeah. Okay. So again, what kind of lesson I learned from as a corporate CIO to design the future e-government and smart city, smart nation. I think this is still in the preliminary stage. Nobody really know. There's many different models. All we know is number one, everything is IP based. So it's not 3G, 4G, or anything will solve the problem. You have to have a lot of city Wi-Fi and with a lot of broadband, with fiber to the home, to every office, everything. And number two, I feel deeply in our heart that we have to continue to innovate, thinking of new ideas. So recently we figured out all the new way to make smartphone and every app a lot more smarter. And for example, this way we can give telecom the control. Right now, all the telco told us they are just a dumb pipe. They don't do much. All the applications taken care by other software, social networking softwares and Skypes and Googles and all the other. And now telcos say, well, I want to get back some control. And so we are working on that direction, try to make smartphones smarter, all the apps smarter, and register to the telco. And telco can also to control a lot of applications, and they bring back customer closer to the system. We use quite a few, NTT, international, cable, everything, but again, the cable right now, typically one line is 100 tera. Right, so it's improved quite a bit, and it's a good time to use a lot of fiber for your country to build up the infrastructure. After the infrastructure build up, then we can look at all these new ideas and a much better, more effective way of e-government and communications and the social network, everything. With this, I thank you so much for listening, and thank you.
Thank you. May I say that you provide the total solution of the UC? You provide total solution?
Yeah. Yes. We are one turnkey total solution for everything, and many telco and government and many we develop for them, and we have to customizing for them. Yeah, and also universities and banks, insurance. Yeah. Thank you.
May I ask one question? When you talk about the Wi-Fi smart city, you use the word invent. So it means that you don't adopt the existing technology, but you build a new one, a new solution for the Wi-Fi system in the smart city.
You know, even in Japan, I was in Japan many times using the 4G to start a conference, everything. And once you get into the room like this, it dropped to GPRS. So it's not 4G, it's not 3G, it's 2G. So that's why it inspired me that we have to do Wi-Fi. And then we get into Wi-Fi, and finally we develop about 20 different servers. So our software development more in the server. So we have a special server to handle 1 million AP very effectively to handle all the 3G, 4G offload and load sharing. And we also focus on beamforming. I have many meetings with KDDI, R&D, CEO. They bought quite a few rockets. I don't know if your company buy that. But that's a very low power beamforming. It's not the best one. So it doesn't cover every place. So we have to do the higher power and special beamforming, and then 500 user in one AP, 4x4 MIMO. So these are the new technology plus the new control to easily to cover the whole nation. That's why Indonesia, we are in POC quite a few into that area.
When you say that you can provide a limited scale, it means that when we have more users that entertain with the bandwidth, you can generate.
Yes,
can
assuming you have a fiber to a lot of place.
Okay.
You know, for example, Vodafone, they don't like to be on the street with a post with outdoor. They want to be in the building and on the side of the building toward the street. So you have a lot of fiber access, and then each AP right now is 1 giga. So you do have a lot of bandwidth to cover to complement with 3G, 4G. And telco sometimes will switch dynamically in the peak hour. 3G, 4G not good, and they kick out a lot of people to Wi-Fi, right? And then sometimes they want everybody using 3G, 4G because they can charge the bandwidth. So this is what they're changing, and our control has to take care of all kind of a situation.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I will move to the last speaker. Actually, our last speaker, they know that they have to present on stage 5 minutes before we start the session. So for Mr. Andrey Mukhanov, may I ask you the special question, because I know that you are the experts in many areas, but I would like you to share the ICT development to promote the new growth of the APEC economies. From your point of view, Mr. Andrey is come from Russia, so please share.
Not only from Russia, but from APEC. Thank you very much. Additionally, to continue the previous question, I would like to say some words, some small information. Tomorrow morning, in the framework of ITU Telecom World, will be Smart City Roundtable. And I invite you to this roundtable to participate. And now, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, I'd like to say some words regarding the modern trends in development of digital telecommunications and ICT. And you know that there are 7 main branches. These are integrity, convergence, regulations, e-government, best practice, security, and interoperability. By the year, we witness an increase in globalization and in the influence of information and communication technologies on the world economic development. Today, information technologies are one of the key factors of economic growth. We live in the information epoch, and most countries of the world count their models of economics as information economy or economy of knowledge. It is evident that this model cannot exist without ICT. ICTs have a great influence on the competitiveness of APEC's economies by decreasing transaction costs involved by search and exchange of information. They provide us with additional capabilities for economic growth and ensure full and equal access to information. Development of information services and active usage of the latest technologies are among the priorities of foreign economic apex expansionary policy. One cannot build a global information society in any one economy. Nowadays, its formation becomes one of the main purposes of the world social and economic development. The main goal pursued by APEC in the field of ICT development is to establish an information society in Asia-Pacific region. To achieve this goal, we have to solve the problems faced by most of economies, such as managing structural transformation in economy, enhancing tax and customs systems, developing cooperation in the field of information technologies, energy industry and communications, increasing human resources potential, as well as promoting small and middle-sized enterprises. APEC contributes much in establishment of the region information and communication infrastructure to ensure a stable development of the information society, global access to digital networks and possibilities enhancement. As you know, the priorities of ICT APEC-TEL group are highlighted in two most important documents. These are Okinawa declarations and APEC-TEL strategic plan 2010-2015. These are providing a broadband access to internet, supporting the use of ICT, establishing safe and reliable ICT environment, as well as ensuring economic integration development. APEC strategic plan, which was adopted during the meeting of ministers for APEC telecommunications information system development, highlighted the importance of ICT development to ensure the life quality enhancement and economic growth in Asia-Pacific region. This plan highlights the fact that from the moment of APEC creation, the leaders and the ministers of the states recognized the important role of the information and communication technologies in assistance to economic growth and achievement of universal purposes of APEC. These purposes are simple and following. This liberalization of trade and investments, simplification of business practice, economic and technical cooperation. For achievement of the given purposes, the ICT group has concentrated its efforts on the following 5 priorities. The first is ICT development with a view of assistance to new growth. The second is improvement of social, of economic activities and the expanse of the use of information and communication technologies. The third is creation of safe and reliable ICT environment. Fourth, assistance to the regional economic integration. And at last, the fifth, the strengthening of cooperation in ICT factor. It is generally agreed that the growth of broadband access penetration by 10% leads to increase of the GDP of the country by 1%. Thus, doubling of average speed of broadband access in country increased the GDP by 0.3%. It cannot be ignored, and just for this reason, one of the key challenges is overcoming of digital inequality in view of a comprehensive development of economy. If we say about such economy as Russia, for example, in the Russian Federation, this problem gets special scale considering the length of territory of our country. Nevertheless, we methodically and confidently move to that moment when all citizens of a country will have an access to the internet. In order to overcome the digital inequality, we will involve the most different mechanisms. Our practice is, for example, in the beginning of this year, we have realized the project, Russia realized a project which does not have analogs now in the world. We have equipped all polling stations of the country with webcams to stop possible infringements during the presidential elections in the Russian Federation. However, the most important and difficult part of this project was to provide the necessary communication line with each polling station. We solved then one problem, to hold as much as possible transparent elections, but as a result, we stretched the broadband internet in many settlements in our country, to both purposes at the same time. As example of how we struggle with the digital inequality in Russia is supporting the federal line Amur. It's the name of this line in the route of Chita to Khabarovsk. You can see the map. It's a very, very long, about 2,000 kilometers line of 2,000 kilometers. To keep this line by modern mobile communication. This project is unprofitable from the market point of view, but very important from the social point of view. Here we have applied the mechanism of state-private partnership. The state and the communication service providers united for solving this problem and have halved the expenses. As a result, the communication and the mobile internet have appeared not only in this route but also in the neighboring settlements. According to data, as for this moment, the monthly internet audience in Russia made more and more million persons, about between 60 and 70 million persons. It's almost half of all adult population of our country. It is very important for us that the growth of the internet audience occurs mainly at the expense of regions. The internet is most actively spread in the rural areas where the audience has increased by 1/3 for a year. It is a real thing of the fact that we are moving in the right direction and are overcoming the digital gap. And so doing, the access speed is growing and its cost is falling. The mobile internet audience in Russia has grown almost doubled over the last 3 years. In parallel, with the development of access, we are engaged in the establishment of electronic government system. the possibility for citizens to enjoy government services without leaving home plays an enormous role. In addition, the system reduces administrative pressure on business that positively affects on the economy. The achievements in this field of electronic government have been noted by United Nations experts. But even more important for us is the enthusiasm with which the citizens, the simple citizens, are mastering this system whose popularity constantly grows. The overcoming of digital inequality, establishment of the electronic government, development of electronic commerce, simplification of interaction of business and society with the state, these are the goals to which we direct our efforts. Our general vision of key factor of ICT development within the limits of APEC, their roles in the development of economy and society are formulated in St. Petersburg Declaration last year, trust and safety of environment through the development of ICT. Basing on the recognition of the Asia-Pacific region as the vanguard of the global economic growth, this document is focused on the necessity of moving to the creation of integral regional economy. This is necessary for closer links between companies and region markets, for the creation of cross-border cooperation system in the field of safety of the information, lowering of barriers and the transfer of information. Protection of intellectual property rights in Asia-Pacific region, safety in the use of the Internet. The document emphasizes the necessity to intensify the activities of EPIC-TEL working group in ICT sector for the achievement in the Asia-Pacific region of goals set by World Summit of Information Society issues. And in conclusion, I'd like to say that ICT are a tool without which it is impossible to construct an information society in a modern economy of knowledge. Therefore, all EPIC participants should unite efforts in development the ICT in our common interest. Thank you very much.
You have some initiative regarding the cyber threat. Since we adopted technology, adopted IT, it means that we have to entertain with the internet, something so under the APEC program. Do they have some initiatives regarding the cyber threat, cyber securities, like that?
I think it's my mind that cybersecurity is the main tool which can give us the possibility to develop economy, to do it safely, and it's evident if you have new technologies, for example, the cloud computing, and it's absolutely biggest quantity of information, quantity of services, e-services, and you know that unfortunately, but it is a fact that there are many criminal structures in the world, in each country, try to establish their own rules in the information field. And due to a special report of International Policeman Organization, which is responsible for cybersecurity, experts from this organization said that if the country, if the governments cannot to make an appointment, mutual appointment, how to use the internet field, in 2, maybe in 3 years, the criminal will do it. It's fact. And I think that not only in APEC framework, but in international field and in all countries must cooperate, must collaborate. I use English word must collaborate in this field to establish the rules of mutual benefit, mutual security, and in APEC-Tel, we have about 15 projects, 15 initiatives which are concerned, plus minus, which are concerned this direction. If it interests, I can.
Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
I think time is up, but may I ask for one question from the floor in case that you need to share or need you to ask, or I don't know that you have the question from. Okay, please.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause to.
Sorry, we have one question from the floor.
Oh, sorry,
Okay.
sure. Can I have the microphone, please?
My name is Young-Si Kim. Thank you for all your very excellent presentation. And I have one question to Dr.Arnon. I was impressed by one of your chart about the enterprise architecture. So you used the TOGAF, and looks like you implement TOT IT governance system by enterprise architecture. So I'm sure you have a good governance system now, but as a state enterprise, how do you link with other government agency and also Ministry of ICT? And what will be the Thailand government's enterprise architecture vision and future plan? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your question. In fact, in terms of IT governance, in the state-owned enterprise, Ministry of Finance, there are several state-owned enterprise, and then in each year, they share on the conference the best of in each item to share to every state-owned enterprise at that conference, and also it means that the one who got the best of this segment or this sector will share their experience to the conference. And also, because I think that more than 60 state enterprise join the conference, and then each year Ministry of ICT do that, and then also with the CIO for Council, I believe that they will share among them.
May I add some comment regarding your question, because you talk about the enterprise architecture, and we also adopt like TOT adopt the TOGAF for the enterprise architecture. Right now in Thailand, we have the IT Architecture Association, and so we just set up the association this year, and for the committee of this association, we present what it should be for the enterprise architecture, not for the organization, but also for the Thailand enterprise organization, and we present this framework to our ministry. And I think since from now, we have to move on the enterprise architecture, and we try to adopt both for the public sector, private sector, and even for the government agency. So I think we will have something move on regarding the enterprise architecture. So I think this time is up, so I move to our MC.